Hello and welcome to another video. You guys, for this video, I definitely want to talk about some of the stocks that I've been looking at. I know that this is something that I try to do every single time that I post a video, but I also just want to talk a little bit about what's going on, not only in the world of stocks, but also in my world of work in general. I've shared in my previous videos that I do work a 9 to 5. A couple of videos ago, I just shared that my contract, since I do work on a contract basis, that my contract would be ending in January. Now, new information has come to me as of this week where I am potentially going to be getting extended for my job, but it's not even potentially, it's basically I just have to decide if I want to accept the offer that they gave me. This is probably the first time where I'm not sure if I want to take it or not. I've been working on a contract basis for the last 3 years, and so a lot kind of comes into play. And I just wanted to talk about this because I don't know if anybody else is going through something similar or you've gone through something similar in the past. And so I just wanted to kind of express where I'm at because, like I said, I've used this channel as a way to document my journey, not only in investing, in trading, but also just in general. Like where I'm at mentally is super, super important, especially when you're making big decisions. And so this last week was really, really hard for me to just concentrate because I'm like, okay, well, I was already kind of having the mindset that my contract was going to end in January. Now they want to extend me. Is that going to actually take over some of the things that I had already been writing down that I want to accomplish in Q1, already thinking that I wasn't going to be working this job? Should I take it? There's just so much to consider. And so this weekend, I am going to be doing my pros and cons list, which is something that I typically do whenever I come to a situation where I'm just not sure what I want to do. So it helps me make a decision. I write down all the pros, I write down all the cons, and that's something that I still need to do. But I wanted to post this video because I feel like the market has also been all over the place. The market has been all over the place. My work stuff has been all over the place. The economy has been all over the place. There's just so much going on that I'm like, okay, Jocelyn, you need to sit, you need to think, you need to decide what makes most sense for you. And although I am sharing this on here and you can comment and let me know what you think about keeping a job or not keeping a job, I think the last video that I posted about this, I did get a lot of comments and people giving me kind of suggestions or recommendations or things that they've been through, which was really helpful. But also it is a personal decision. It is something that is very, very personal to you and only you can decide what you want. So I will be praying about it. I will be jotting things down. But yeah, I just want to be transparent that that's something that I'm going through right now. And so I feel like another thing is like when you are going through something that is outside of just focus, it kind of throws you off. So I've been thrown off this past week or 2 weeks, kind of just with the indecision of like, okay, am I going to get extended? Then I was told, no, you're not going to get extended. Now all of a sudden it's like, there's a possibility. Here's what we have to offer you. And now the ball's in my court. I have to decide. Okay, let's put that aside. That's what's going on in my work life. The market. The market has been absolutely crazy. A lot of volatility, a lot of red days, causing panic, causing fear. If we look at the fear and greed index, we are at a 6 the last time I checked, which is extreme fear. People are uncertain about what the market is trying to do. There's a lot of volatility because of that as well. So if you look up the volatility index, which is ticker symbol VIX, you'll see that we've been spiked up above that $18 level, which I like to talk about. I usually take my trades whenever I see that the volatility is down below the $18 mark. However, it has been kind of spiking up above that. And so because of that, I've been protecting my capital and I've been just kind of waiting to see when the market is going to decide to get out of this consolidation phase that we've seen. So I want to stress that because I feel like when I first started trading, I would try to just trade no matter what the market was doing. I'm like, okay, I'm trading, I'm swing trading, and I'm just going to do it, right? But the thing is that when the market is moving and trending, it is so easy to trade. So when the market is trending and it feels very easy, that's when you should be going hard. That's when you should be putting your money in. But when the market feels very choppy, very moving sideways, it doesn't know what it wants to do, that is when you need to pause. So you need to analyze what's going on, look at the fear and greed index, look at the VIX, just see the charts, and if it's not giving you a setup, just sit out. It's not going to be like this forever. It's going to pick a side, whether we decide to go, continue to go on a bull run, or if we decide to go in a bear market. Basically, bull market, the market will continue to go up. Bear market, the market will continue to go down. It needs to decide on one, right? And so right now we're still not sure what's going on. A lot of volatility, and I personally would just say, don't do what most people do, which is just throw your money in there, and then you're just losing money because you're adding to liquidity and you're adding to other people who are playing the game smarter because they've been in longer and they understand what's going on, actually cashing out your money because you're not thinking about it through, and you're just trying to either revenge trade or just throw your money in there without actually knowing what's going on. So wanted to say that. And then lastly, I did want to say that although the VIX is high and we see that some of the values of stocks have been going down, this is, if you are someone who is new in trading, or if you have positions that you opened when the value of the stocks were higher, this is a great time to dollar cost average. This is not financial advice. I'm always going to say this. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just simply telling you what I've done in my portfolio, and you can do with this information whatever you'd like, okay? So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not telling you what to sell. I just want to share what I've done and what I've seen work for me. And if it's helpful for you, cool. And if you don't like my strategy or you don't like what I'm sharing, then just move on. It's really not that serious. I think sometimes when I'm watching other videos, I see some of the comments people are like commenting or like just saying like, oh my gosh, like what type of advice is this? Like, listen, at the end of the day, you do what you want with your money. I'll do what I want with my money. Okay. I'm sharing because I've been learning about this. But again, it doesn't have to be something that now you hear what I'm saying, or you hear the stocks, and then all of a sudden you're going to put all your money in these stocks, and then something happens, and then you're going to blame the person who you heard it from. Okay. So don't do that. Do your own research, and always make sure that you are not just going with what you hear, but you are actually taking time to analyze, to understand, and then make your decision. So now that I got that out of the way, some of the stocks that I have been continuously dollar cost averaging in, I've mentioned in some previous videos that I kind of paused for Q4 and that I would not add shares or dollar cost average unless I saw some really, really good corrections or pullbacks that made sense for me to put more money. Otherwise, I was just going to keep my positions as they are. And there are some that have been looking pretty nice. One of them is Robinhood, that is ticker symbol HOOD, currently going for around $108. Robinhood is one that has hit around $153. I personally bought when it was much lower earlier in the year. However, I do think that Robinhood at $108 is a pretty good level. So I'm going to wait to see if it does dip under the $100 mark. There is a chance that I will personally add to my position. So that's one that I'm looking at. Another one that I'm looking at is Uber, that is ticker symbol UBER, currently going for around $83. This one has hit around $100. And I do see this continuing to go up. Again, we are just in a very uncertain market. And so a lot of the stocks that typically go for a higher price have now gone down. And so that is why I am saying I'm either going to dollar cost average or add positions of stocks that maybe I didn't have in my portfolio and that look like they're at a really good level. Okay, so we have Robinhood, Uber, Lyft is another one. So Lyft is like Uber's cousin stock, but a lot cheaper. Currently going for around $19. This is actually one that I added into my portfolio this year. It has been doing really well. I think $19 is a really good level, and I do see this continuing to go up. So I will be continuing to watch it and see if I want to dollar cost average there. And then SoFi, which is ticker symbol SOFI, currently going for around $25. This is one that I've talked about so many times throughout all my videos. Probably one of the most mentioned stocks that I've had this year. And we've seen SoFi do its run. So it actually hit a high of around $32 earlier, like just a couple of weeks ago. Now it's around $25. Personally, this is a stock that I've been investing in for the last I would say 2 years. So I'm not necessarily going to add to my position unless it continues to dip. If it does get under the $20 mark, I may actually add some shares. But again, I'm pretty happy with my where my position is. And then another one, and kind of the last one that I wanted to talk about on this video, is Netflix, which is ticker symbol NFLX. This is a stock that just had a 10-to-1 stock split. And so I actually got into it before it split. It's sitting at around $104 right now. And it has gone up. So 10-to-1 stock split essentially just means that the stock was valued. Let's say the stock was valued at $1,000, but there's a 10-to-1 stock split. So it takes that one stock of Netflix and splits it into 10. And so now each share is actually worth $100. So you'll have 10 shares worth $100 instead of one share worth $1,000. So I did get into Netflix. I do potentially see myself adding more shares. If it does get below the $100 mark as well, I see that being a pretty good level. But yeah, that's another one that I have on my watch list, and I think that everyone should be kind of keeping their eyes on. And those are the ones that I wanted to mention. Of course, keep your eyes on the bigger, more well-known stocks like Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta. There are a lot of stocks that are a little bit higher in price, and I would say that those stocks you still want to add to your portfolio when you can, right? Because they are a little bit more expensive right now. I have some of the prices written down. So Apple's at $271, Amazon's at $221, Google's actually just recently reached over $300, so it's at $302. So they are a little bit more expensive, but these are stocks that are not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And so what I would say is that when you can buy even just one share or partial shares and dollar cost average into those more well-known stocks, it's always a good idea. And that is it for the stocks that I wanted to mention. I just kind of wanted to close the video by kind of just acknowledging the fact that there's just a lot going on all the time. And I know that videos like this, we're talking about stocks, we're talking about things that have to do with money, where things that have to do with being able to have the money to invest sometimes is a little bit of a touchy subject, because not everyone has the money to just go in full force into investing. So I just want to acknowledge the fact that I know it is a privilege to be able to add money into the stock market, but I also want to just be very clear on the fact that you don't need to have a lot of money to get started. You could literally start with $50, $100, $200, just whatever you can, just so that you can get actually in the market, get your feet wet, know what it feels like, know what the process is like, learn how to do it. Especially if you're building out a long-term portfolio. I would say personally, I would always recommend learning how to build a long-term portfolio first before you get into options trading. But options trading is definitely a great vehicle to make more money and to reinvest the money that you make with options back into your long-term portfolio. So there are levels to this. I just wanted to kind of say that I also understand people that are like, you know what, this all sounds great, but I don't have the money to do this right now. Just know that you can start smaller, okay? Just know that you don't necessarily have to have $300 to buy one share of Google right now, but you could start smaller. You could buy one share of SoFi, which is at $25, for example, and then build out your portfolio as you see that you can. Personally, I'm someone that did this. This is part of the reason why I wanted to start this channel, is to be able to document, to be able to remember the different levels and the different steps that I took to grow out my portfolio. And yeah, I just think it's important to share the fact that you don't have to have all this money to get in. And there are going to be times where maybe you don't touch your portfolio for a while, and then you have some extra money that you're able to kind of dollar cost average or add to your portfolio. But just know that regardless of what level you're currently at, it's okay. The goal and my goal of sharing this information and creating this channel is for you all to feel like there is other people who is doing what you're wanting to do at a much lower level, not the wolf on Wall Street, not the people that are sitting here talking about becoming a millionaire, becoming a billionaire. Like, all of these things are great, but let's be realistic and let's work with what we have and grow what we have until we reach other levels. And so that is just what I wanted to share. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave comments if you are someone who is looking at specific stocks that you want me to be looking at. And then also just let me know if you have gone through a similar situation with work, if you decided to leave a 9 to 5, if you decided to stick it out. Like, I am open to hear all the comments, all the feedback, and all the thoughts that you all have as you watch the video. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave this video here. If you like videos like this, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.